There are a lot of unknowns in the war with Iran. But what we do know right now is that this war is costing a lot more than expected. It's $1 billion a day burn. That's certainly more than a lot of struggling Americans expected. As you know, the battle against affordability woes, specifically to fix health care, that's taken a back seat to the battle in Iran, right? But what you don't know is that the latest bright idea to pay for the bombing of the regime is to make the poor pay for it in America. Just like with the ACA subsidies, which nearly 80% of Americans want. Those subsidies Republicans are still sitting on in the Senate, still haven't passed despite the shutdown that was supposedly all about health care. Once again, programs for the poor are on the chopping block now to pay for the war. Now, they don't say that outright, at least in public. Instead, they use the code words. We're rooting out fraud in health care spending, waste, fraud, and abuse. All very real. But tell me, why is it that whenever this administration goes after fraud, it's always at the expense of helping the poor? No fraud found in the billions the government spends each year to subsidize energy companies that are having a banner year thanks to surging prices we all face? No fraud, waste, or abuse in the hundreds and hundreds of millions that Trump's sons are getting to subsidize their new companies? And when you take a closer look at what the Republicans are calling fraud, it's actually an accounting workaround Trump himself encouraged during his first term. Oh, I didn't hear that. I know. Watch NewsNation. See, the cost-sharing programs that are being targeted, like the other subsidies, they are a coping mechanism for the government to deal or to help deal with out-of-control pricing by hospitals and insurance companies. Now, apparently, our president fears going at these companies more than the Iranian regime. Again, know this, and I do not care what spin you hear on social media or on this outlet or any other. This is the fact. The so-called fraud that they're going after is a legal policy Trump himself encouraged called silver loading. You can look it up. It has to do with a certain healthcare route. This subsidy being removed is now called a tough choice that we have to make for the president's war of choice. So we may wind up adding another 300,000 often working poor Americans to the casualties of this war after they lose coverage to pay for it. Now, you could trim tax breaks given to the richest. You could cut Trump's Golden Dome project that's expected to cost at least $200 billion, and a lot of military experts say it's a pipe dream. Maybe cut that $600 million loan the Pentagon has given that rare earth minerals company John Jr. invested in. No waste, fraud, or abuse in any of those, right? Look, there's no question healthcare spending is out of control. If U.S. healthcare spending was its own economy, it would be the third largest economy in the world. Did you hear that? Now, that's the battle I thought we were going to have. I thought we were going to have a war of ideas on shows like this. Not about Iran, about how to run this country. Fix America first. Instead, the fix is once again to make the poor pay for the whims of the rich. Make no mistake, the war in Iran is good for the rich. That's who feeds off the military-industrial complex. Now, Trump's patsies are right. There is fraud afoot. It just happens to be the one they're perpetrating against the poor while protecting the companies that line their pockets. So, while we continue to feel the effects of the war back here at home, and not in a good way, the good news is supposedly that negotiations to end the war that no one voted for are at least being held with the right people, according to the president. On social media, President Trump wrote, "The United States of America is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime." I got to tell you something. Caps are a sign of feigned importance, okay? They don't make things better. They make them more obvious. That's it. Here's what the Secretary of State had to say about this today.
There are clearly people there talking to us in ways that previous people in charge in Iran have not spoken to us in the past. Some of the things they're willing to do, some of the things they're saying they're willing to do. And if there are new people now in charge who have a more reasonable vision of the future, that would be good news for us, for them, for the entire world.
Look, here's my problem. I think Rubio, by the way, has really grown. I think that he is, without question, a standout within this administration. Low bar, but still. But do you hear how qualified he is as the Secretary of State? If, then, we would. Why is it all conditional? See, that's what triggered my ears. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.